What it do? What it do? What it do? What's up, y'all? I am back with another video. So today I'm eating a little candy, right? That's not what I was about to say, but y'all just bear with me till it's gone. So today I wanted to talk about first let me tell you a little backstory. So my friend called me. I hadn't talked to her in a long time. This is somebody that I met in college. We were roommates. We were really close. Like we were close. And like life happened between us. We kept in contact. But did I mess up my mic? Y'all see I got a little mic. We kept in contact and everything. But of course y'all know how it goes. You don't really talk to somebody every single day. But a little while went by. So I called her just to check on her. And she was just like, wow, like you don't even really know what this means for real. Like your call means a lot because of some things that she's been going through. And we started talking, and she was just like, all right, Janae, you be doing your videos, you need to do a video on talking about how to basically like be okay in your single season. I know that, well, let me start by saying this. I've been single for years at this point. The last time I was in a relationship, I can't even tell you the year it was. It's 2022 now. I can't even tell you the year. I was in a situationship in 2020. So
I need you to be about we. If you put a limit on your love, then count me.
Girl, was it 2020? Yeah, 2020. And ever since then, I haven't been in any form of anything. So she was like, how do you do it? Like, how do you show up? How you so strong? Like, how do you continue to go on? She like, cause this shit hard. And I'm like, it definitely is. It definitely was challenging for me. I mean, I think now I'm more accustomed to being single. When I first became single, it was like, it felt like the world was coming to an end because for one, I'm used to being with somebody. I was used to having somebody like there, to be around, to be up under, whether that was like a partner or just a friend. Like I never did anything alone. So when she said that, I was like, that's really kind of important for me to talk about, because being in the alone season helps you get to know who you are as a person. I feel like I really wouldn't know who Janae was until I had the time to actually be by myself. And not just like be by myself in a way of just being single, but being able to actually like get to know me without having other people's thoughts, opinions, perceptions being poured onto me, or me following someone else's lead. But when she said that, I was like, you know what? You're right. I might actually do a video about that, because it took a while for me to get where I am now, which is comfortable being alone. Now, when I say comfortable, I ain't saying I want to be alone forever. I ain't saying I'm INZEPE. I don't need no men around me. That's not what I'm saying. Because I want a man. Okay? It just, I know now that I have certain standards, certain, not even just like, oh, you got to be making this amount of money, or you got to be doing this, or I have certain values and morals that I've been had, but I never really implemented them into my relationships. So I was always the girl who was in a relationship for real. Like I was always in a relationship. And I feel like once I got out of the one of the worst situationships of my life, I felt lost. Like, I really felt lost. I felt like, what is life? Like, I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm about to find me another little boo and just, you know, keep it moving. But I really feel like it was God that was like sitting me down, like, no, you don't need to find nobody. And ultimately, it was from me moving to Atlanta being uncomfortable. If I was in Columbia back at home, I might would have started talking to an ex, talking to somebody else. Like, it was just a level of comfortability for me. But moving to a whole nother city was like, you really don't know none of these people. Like, you can't even call somebody. You know, when you at home, you like, you could ask somebody, oh, these people went to that school. They went to school with so and so. They might know them. You could figure out a little background on them or something. But like when you move to another state, you really don't know anybody. Well, I didn't. And it was like, dang, I don't know who your people's is to even ask about you, to figure out if you're a decent human being. Like, I really would have to get to know you. So I think I was really like scared to start over with get to know people. I did, but and I mean, it's I date, I go out on dates. It's not like I don't do those things, but I really had to sit with myself for a while, and not just like sit with myself, but actually learn to be okay with not being with someone else and not being alone. Like, it was to the point where I didn't even go out to eat alone. I never went like anywhere. If I wanted to go do something that was outside of the house, I was calling my friends, I was calling my cousins. It was never just me just up and leaving and going to do something on my own. So I had to really learn to not lean on other people. And I think that's something that I learned during this alone season. And I honestly feel like all women should go through the point of, I mean, you can date, you can talk to other people, whatever, but not like seriously being with someone, even if it's like a toxic situationship, if it's a situationship, if it's whatever, a relationship. I honestly feel like you have to learn to be by yourself, to learn to love yourself. You got to learn to love yourself how you want someone else to show you that same love. So, was it difficult? Hell yeah. I mean, it was plenty of times I was just like, dang, why I can't just have a man? Why I can't just be with somebody? And it was like ultimately because I don't want to just be with the wrong person. I don't want to go through the same things that I went through previously just by allowing anything or just being comfortable with just being with somebody. So during the time that I've been alone, it's like I spiritually got more connected to God. I got more connected with myself to know who I was as a person. What did I really, how do I show up? What do I value in myself that I want other men to value within me? Um, I started to do the inner work, as people say. And I mean, I didn't really know what that meant until I actually started like just doing it. And by doing it, I mean just like focusing on myself. So whatever that looked like for me and whatever that looks like for you is something that you would have to figure out. But honestly, focusing on yourself and going through that season of alone. Like when we had the conversation, I was just like, girl, I feel like God like made me sit down and made me be in that uncomfortable space. Um, but it taught me so much more about myself. So now I know, just like when different men have come along, it's like, nah, you ain't it. Nah, your values effed up, your morals effed up. Like, I don't want to deal with nobody that's like that. Instead of just saying, oh, well, you check off all the other boxes, so I might just let you slide. Nah, ain't no slipping and sliding around here, my boy. So, it was just those things. And she was just like, how do you get through this? Because it's days where I feel like I just want to call somebody, call him. You know how that, y'all know how I get, ladies, where you just want to call him. You might just be like, I'm so lonely, like just give in type thing. But you really have to realize that being uncomfortable is it's okay, and it's in the end it's going to be way better than just being comfortable and allowing anything and anybody to enter into your body, into your mind, to your soul, into your spirit, like for real. Because we don't realize that when we are dealing with different men, it's really an exchange of energy for real. Like the men are actually within us, like they are inside of us. We not inside of them, they're inside of us. So whatever they have, energy that they have stored within them, like not, and we're not talking like diseases and stuff, we talking like trauma and all of the mental things that they might have going on, or that type of stuff. It's like that energy gets transferred into you, and you wonder why, dang, why is nothing good happening for me? Why am I going through these things? I feel like I'm doing right in life. I'm not a bad person. I treat people right. Whatever the case may be, like, what is it that I'm doing? And it might not be you. It might be who you're attached to, and attached in a way of y'all have been connected in that way, sexually, by sexual energy and physical energy, exchange of energy. So they may be draining you and depleting you of energy. So ultimately it's like, is that worth is it worth it? Is it worth you just going through all of that? And or is it worth like you or is it better for you to just be alone and have to figure out what that new normal looks like for you? Because that's what I had to do. It was like I could have chosen, to continue to deal with people that were just a waste of time, honestly. But it's like I learned to value myself way more. Like I value me so much now that I'm not even giving you any parts of me for real if I don't feel like you're worth it. And I feel like every female should feel that way. Like I always felt like I was worth something, but now I just know that I'm worth way more than the bare minimum, than allowing someone to dump off their problems on me or dump off their bad energy on me, or not be the same level playing field where we're both elevating each other for real in life. And so in all ways, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, like I feel like I had to just learn how to be okay with being alone. It sounds like, well, dang, how did you just learn that? Like, how did you just be okay with it? But it's honestly a process. Like, I just had to wake up every day and continue to move forward. Try something different. Do something different than I did the day before. If something crossed my mind, it's all right. It crossed my mind. Like, it's okay. But I just had to continue to move forward and know that yesterday won't be like tomorrow. Tomorrow won't be like 2 months from now. So, and I honestly started to do things that I love, like things that I wanted men to do for me, I started to do for myself. So, my single season has been like learning how to properly love me so that when someone else comes along, they're literally going to, I am the example. I created the blueprint. So now I know it's not a trial and error for you to test and see, okay, well, maybe she, should be treated like this. No, I know how I should be treated. I know what I deserve because I can't give myself everything that, another human being, a man can give me, but I know what I deserve. I know what I desire. I know how to love myself in many different ways, whether that be emotionally, like I know how to love myself physically and treat myself physically. So it's not always just like the physical exchange of things. Um, but I do feel as if all women should at least experience being alone, learning how to love themselves. Um, And like I said, I ain't gonna say it was easy. I mean, but I do know for sure that it's going to be worth it. Like, so when Mr. Right comes along, it's just gonna be like the top tier to my cake because I've already been constructing the different layers of my cake of what it is, how I want to be treated. I treat myself with love, with grace. Like, I spoil and pamper myself. I cater to myself. Like, all the things that I want for someone else to do for me, I do those things for myself. And I learn to love myself, honestly, because now I know that I really didn't love myself. Just thinking back on how I allowed men to just like emotionally abuse me, to just allow other women to come into my space, like to disrespect me, like that just shows me that you really didn't love yourself, because if you loved yourself, girl, you wouldn't have stood for none of that. Ain't none of that happening around here. Like, you're not about to come disrespecting me, cut off. You not no female coming to disrespect me because of whatever y'all have going on, cut off. Like, none of that. None of my past experiences are going to reoccur in my life, and I allow them to. I'm not going to say things won't happen, but I'm not just going to allow it and continue to allow somebody to still be in my space. So it's like, I took that time, I took that season, and I'm still learning different things about myself. I'm still learning and growing and evolving as a person. We all should do that. Like, y'all be mad at people that be evolving, and it's like, y'all always want the new iPhone. Whatever new phone comes out, you be wanting that. The iPhone is evolving. Why can't I evolve as a human being? So it's just like I'm learning different things about myself that I didn't know. And ultimately, it's just like the greatest sacrifice, if that's how you want to look at it. And then as days go on, as time went on, I just began to realize, like, I'm okay with this. I actually love going out and doing things by myself now. Like, I love running myself a nice little hot bath and putting me some little rose petals in it and going and act like I'm just coming home for the day. Like, oh my gosh, thank you, girl. You just love me so much for catering to my needs, because I'm ready to hop in the bathtub. I'm ready to get a good bath and just relax and unwind. And you got me a glass of wine. Girl, thank you. You was the best, my girl. Like, so now I'm doing those things for myself. And it's just, I know people say with time, but it's not with just with time. It's with time and with intentional work. So if you're intentional about opening your heart to figure out what it is that your heart really desires, then you winning. It ain't no losing. So I hope this message helps somebody somewhere, somehow, because I know that definitely um I wish I had someone to like tell me, like, girl, pour into yourself. Like, pour into yourself. Don't worry about trying to pour into other people all the time and find a man to pour into, because that's what I would do. Pour into men. Like, I always wanted to love and do things for them. I wanted to surprise and cater to them. And I just took that energy, turned it around, and started doing all of that stuff for myself. So if y'all got something good out of this, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what else y'all want to hear from me and what else y'all want to talk about. So, yeah, until next time.